to the matters that will be happening next weekend, and we've got some really good boxing for you coming out of Sun City. And I'm very pleased to say, with me in the studio, my two guests are none other than Jerry Halstead and, of course, Pierre Coetzer. Jerry, welcome to South Africa, because you've really just got off a plane, haven't you? Just arrived.
Absolutely, Harry. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. Nice to have you. Why the name Wimpy as a nickname? How did that come about?
That was an 11-year-old nickname that my head trainer, Frank Newton, labeled me when I was 16 years old in the gyms, not used to the pain and the suffering that a professional fighter has to endure, and did a lot of complaining and whining. And that's where the nickname came from. Since then, I was a middleweight then. I've grown into the heavyweight division and matured as a fighter and gotten used to the rigorous training. So it doesn't fit, but yet it's so unique and original that I love it.
You stayed with it, in other
I
words.
stayed with it, yeah.
I wonder whether it was anything to do with the eating habits, because I heard you just asked for a hamburger. Is that
yeah,
a cheeseburger?
Been on the plane 15 hours, I'm hungry.
Okay, well, with us also Pierre Coetzer. Pierre, welcome indeed to Supersport once again, and it's always nice to have you with us.
Thank you, Benny.
Now, this fight that's laying ahead, obviously, with Wimpy coming up, it's unusual for both of us to be on the same set, or you to be both on the same set. Normally, before a fight, this doesn't always happen. You normally only meet when you come along to the weigh-in. Now,
right, yeah.
Without putting too much pressure on you at this moment, but when one looks at the fight that lays, it's a very, very important one to you, because Wimpy's got a good track record, has he not?
That's right, Benny, and at the moment, all my fights are very, very important, especially with my rating. Everyone that comes out here to fight me, obviously, is looking for my rating. That's why I've got to be always in very good condition and very good shape.
Well, it's interesting you say coming out here to fight, because this is the first time you're fighting against international opposition for some time in South Africa.
It's quite a long time now. Yeah. I think since August last year, it was the last fight I had, and that was local opponent in South Africa.
Because you've actually been going overseas competing, have you not?
That's right, yes.
What do you find the difference? Obviously here you're going to have a home crowd, hopefully, with you, I would think.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter wherever you fight, either here or there. I've got a job to do, and I'll get in the ring and do my job. It doesn't matter if I've got my home crowd with me or not, but well, it's always nice to fight in front of your home crowd.
Well, ranked pretty highly at the moment in the world.
That's
and
right.
Looking, I'm sure, at a title shot somewhere near the future.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, when that sort of opposition comes along, Jerry, you've got a man that's ranked pretty high in the world rankings. How do you take this fight? As a normal fight, or do you build a little extra into it? Because you obviously want to make a bit of a comeback by the look of it, do you not?
Well, I wouldn't consider it a comeback. I'm 27 years old and not 30. I feel the best of my fights are yet to come. I'm looking, into the gym works the same, really basically, as I always do, just a different height and weight is all I'm really working on. That would be changing. Everything else is basically the same on my style of boxing.
In fact, though you say not a comeback, it's a case that you surely want to re-establish yourself, though, do you not?
I would say put my foot firmly in the door and say, hey, fellas, the game's not over yet. Pierre Coetzer has an outstanding rating, and he has a good record, and I'm looking forward to getting in there and seeing whether his record is for real or not, and I'm sure it's vice versa.
Well, when I look at yours, you've had, 75 wins? That's incredible. 27 years of age? That's an incredible record.
Yeah, like I told you earlier, Harry, at 16 years of age, I was a middleweight. And as you grow up 11 years into boxing, you can have that many fights. And if I wasn't talented, I would not have survived 83 professional fights.
No. A lot of it's been around your own home state, though, Oklahoma, Kansas, that sort of area, has it not?
No, we've traveled to California, New York, Colorado, Texas. But we fight mostly in the United States, more than, just to say Oklahoma.
Yeah.
But I have had several fights in my home state. They love me there as well, just like I'm sure they love Pierre here in South Africa.
Well, looking ahead to Saturday, big fight on the agenda, but there's another fight I want to just reiterate and go back on. That, of course, is the South African heavyweight title fight that you relinquished. In fact, you stood back from that title when you took it from Johnny Deploy. We've got Johnny Deploy fighting against Corey Saunders. What do you think about that one?
Well, actually, I never took it from Johnny. I fought Benny Coetzer.
Yes,
when
you had that big encounter between you and Johnny.
Yeah, and we gave the title up in September last year, and especially because most of our fights will be overseas. And, well, I think it's going to be a very interesting fight between Johnny and Corey Saunders. And Johnny has got obviously more experience than Saunders, but in the heavyweight division, anything can happen. So I don't think I would like to predict for that fight.
One looks at the record of Wimpy, and I'm sure you've studied it and seen that, in fact, there are a couple of fighters you've both gone in up against. I made a note of them as I went along. One of them in particular was Ozzy Ocasio, I think, and the other one, beg your pardon, Phil Brown, and the other one was Larry Frazier. So you both actually fought two fighters there. Did you make a note of that, or have you just passed that up as a comment?
No, I know. Well, actually, my manager trainer,
Alan looks at that, does he?
He looks at it and he knows it.
And did you take notice of that when you took the fight, Jerry, at all?
No, it isn't going to matter simply because I'm not fighting Larry Frazier. I'm not fighting Phil Brown. I'm fighting Pierre Coetzer. So I really just dismissed it as, in this business, there are people that you're going to fight that are uncommon, and go on.
Yeah, indeed it would be. And when one looks at the chance that you've got coming here to make a little bit of a comeback there, I see that you use the word comeback, and I hope you don't mind me using it again.
I do.
Is it you start? Well, okay. But establishing yourself, putting the foot in the door as you used it. And what would happen here if you now went away, you go away beating Pierre? What would you look for the future for yourself?
Well, let's just get by Pierre.
That's the one to get by for you.
I'm not looking past Pierre.
Non-comment otherwise.
It's not no comment. It's simple. Why look forward when I have July 27th that's far enough in front of me? And that's as far as I care to look. I judge one day at a time, really.
Okay.
And just put the most into each day as I can.
I looked at the record of your record, and I found a man called Mike Tyson on your record, but
Yes.
It wasn't the Mike Tyson, was it not?
No, he was not the Mike Tyson, former heavyweight champion. Davenport, Iowa was Mike Tyson that I fought. He was from Davenport, Iowa in the States. He did have the credentials to back up his name is actually Mike Tyson, but it got a lot of publicity and interest.
I'm sure it does. It interested me when I saw it on the record, so there we
I
are.
stopped him in the 5th round.
I noticed that as well. Okay, we go back and have a chat with these chaps in just a moment. What I think we ought to do right at this moment, bring ourselves right up to date with all the scores we've had during the course of the day, shall we? Let's start off with the latest from the British Open Golf, the story at the moment. Boxing coming up, you don't need to be told that, do you? It's the big fight next week. Sun City live right here on Super Sport. It's Coetzer against Halstead, and that should be a good one. And there's plenty of more action on that particular bill as well. We've got Johnny Deploy against Corey Saunders. We've also got Mark Stratham, an up-and-coming heavyweight. Good bang on that boy. And Douglas Sabaya is also in there against him. And it's Grant Messias against Myberg. That's for a junior welterweight title as well. So there we are. That's the story as it is when we look at all the sport this weekend. Coming up, we got Tour de France tonight at 10:05. Must say goodbye to my special guests, Pierre and Jerry. Thanks for coming in. Look forward to seeing you in the ring next week. That's it from us here, and we look forward to seeing you as well next week. Bye-bye.